Well, good morning to you. As we get into what's happening here, we take a look coming out of Calgary all the way back down to areas by Bismarck, going to areas into the portions of Iowa as well. We have a big troughing pattern. It extends all the way down to the south, and it continues to lift up all the way back into areas by the east coast. Colder air is on the way, and that's going to continue to track into our region. We'll even see some colder air for tomorrow morning, and then eventually, as we get into the forecast, we're going to hold on to temperatures that are going to be a little bit less than what you're seeing here, more along the lines of what you're seeing up by Ladysmith right now at -2. 10 degrees for Eau Claire right now, getting into areas by 19 degrees for La Crosse as well as Sparta. Good morning to you folks out there as well, holding on to the possibility of this as you get into city cam, showing you some pretty good looking roadways out there, even some sidewalks as Seth was showing, looking pretty good out there as well. We'll also hold on to the possibility of a little light wind kicking back again. As right now it's light out there for Eau Claire, but you're holding on to 11 degrees. Feels like 3 degrees out there with 10 miles of visibility. So visibility is not an issue this early morning. Giving way to Winona, similar conditions, 18 degrees. Feels like 18 degrees, but the visibility is about 10 miles. So they're also free of any type of fog or any type of visibility issues coming off the river. We'll hold on to the possibility of cloudier skies later on this afternoon, holding on to temperatures around 21 degrees as you get up to areas right around the central portion of our region, holding on to possibly 24 degrees as you get right back down to areas by Prairie du Chien. We'll go all the way back up to areas up by Lafarge. You're looking at cloudy skies as well, and then continue on up to La Crescent, where you're going to see mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, I should say, and then eventually some cloudier skies to finish your day. La Crosse will have cloudy skies as well as Trempealeau, getting into 21 to 22 degrees. Up to the north, Osceola holding on to 19 degrees with also cloudier skies. You notice something? We're all dry right now. Similar conditions up by Eau Claire, where you're looking at mostly cloudy skies and dry conditions. We'll also see Altoona as well as getting into areas by Ladysmith. You'll see some clearing skies and then becoming mostly cloudy with, again, drier conditions. Snow returns today. Late day is a possibility. It's about a 20% chance of that happening. Turns into a 40% to a 60% chance as we get into the evening, so that's more likely. Those snow showers will continue as we go all the way into the evening hours, as you can see. But for now, this model is still showing it's going to update eventually. But by the time we get into the noon hour, I think it'll look a lot better. But you're going to see trying to get down to the ground. As you can see, areas by Prairie du Chien. La Crosse is trying to get into that as well, but the model is not really seeing that just yet. Holding on to Eau Claire, it starts to move away from you, and then eventually it continues down to the south as well, and it continues all the way into the overnight hours as you go into 4 o'clock in the morning for Friday, where more showers return back up to areas by I-94, and they continue to stretch down to Winona all the way down to La Crosse. We'll see another batch of that coming back again by the 8 a.m. hour. This will continue to come into at least some flurries, turning into some light to moderate snowfall, continuing all the way to Black River Falls as well, getting into Sparta, back down to Viroqua as well in Richland Center, and then down to Crawford County. Similar conditions there with a little bit of snow. We'll go into the 10 o'clock hour. Then you're going to see more widespread snow continuing on. So this will be more light to moderate, carrying over into your afternoon as it all begins to track out of the region gradually. Still by Black River Falls, still by Sparta, still by Eau Claire, and then tracks out and we're done. And then we go into drier conditions. But you notice the temperatures are starting to fall. We get into the 11 o'clock hour, into the midnight hour, 11 degrees, -11, all the way down to La Crosse at -4, and then 4 degrees down by Prairie du Chien. We'll hold on how this all goes into it. Friday's looking at, again, 18 to about, say, 25 degrees. We'll also see the amounts of snow, maybe a trace or less, or more so, maybe an inch or so by Eau Claire, getting into maybe 1 to 3 inches for La Crosse, carrying over to 3 to 6 inches as you get farther south down to areas by Prairie du Chien. We'll carry over into a 20% chance today, as I mentioned before, 22 degrees for you tomorrow with a 40% chance of showers. I popped in an alert day for Friday. That's going from the midnight hour all the way through the day and continue into Sunday into the early morning hours. That's where it's going to be very cold. Back to you.